and welcome back to Panda Creates Tutorials. I'm Panda, and if you are new here, it is so lovely to meet you. Hello and welcome. If you are not new here, we are back. I'm just going to move my computer against the wall a little bit more to give me some space. We are back with a demonstration and review for June. This is my June video. I have what is possibly the biggest box I have ever unboxed on my channel. It is massive. I've had to move everything out of the way to accommodate it. Okay, just going to move that up a little bit just to maybe move that forward. I'm just trying to cover my address. How can I cover my address? Maybe I should have had more foresight before I started recording. Let's just scribble. Scribble, scribble. Everybody knows that I live in Port Macquarie anyway, but you don't know where. You don't know where. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's continue. The biggest box that I've possibly ever had on an unboxing on my channel. So I am still waiting for all of my boom arms and everything to come in. Eventually I will have a lot more space to do big boxes like this. But June's demonstration is a shout out to Lisa from Blanks Are Us Australia. She is a cup supplier. I don't think I've done a cup supplier before. I have done suppliers that also supply cups, but I have not done a supplier that only supplies cups. So this will be an unboxing to show you what is in my box of goodies. Give you a little bit of an idea of the range that she does offer, and then I'm going to pick a couple out of the box just to do up and add to as a tutorial. I have opened this box, like sliced it, but I have not gone any further. Okay, so I don't know what's in here, so I cannot tell you what kind of tutorials I will be doing with these cups, but as we open it up, hopefully I will find some inspiration and then we can move on from there. So this is my box. Let's see if I can hook that behind my microphone. No, I can't hook it behind my tripod. That's okay. We'll hold it like that. Okay, so we're starting with some tissue paper, which I'm tight. So I'm gonna save my tissue paper because I can use that. I like recycling my boxes and my tissue paper and my shredded paper and stuff for when I have orders that go out. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to assume that these are straws. Yes, they fit. So that's all my straws for the cups in that. I'm not going to open that because I've got a really bad habit of losing my straws. So I'm just going to put that to the side. That's rubbish. Well, not rubbish, sorry, padding, so that they don't move. So the rest are cups. So let's start with the top. We have a sippy cup that has 2 lids. Let's have a look. Now, I have never purchased from Lisa before, guys. So I don't have any opinions yet. But, oh, look, it's one of these ones. Okay, so I've done sippy cups before, but they were like the, a long time ago. But they were the ones that look like a stemless wine, like the 12-ounce wine ones. I've never had a straight one. So it comes with the Sippy Cup Lid. I have seen these. They come with a normal lid as well, so that when Bub gets a little bit bigger and he's ready to move on to like a straw instead of a sippy cup, you can change out the lids. And they do look like it's a screw lid. Okay, which helps with it not being spilt or leaking or anything like that. So we have, does it say the size? It doesn't say the size. I'm going to take a guess that it's maybe 14 ounces just by looking at it. Okay, so we have, first one is the sippy cup with 2 lids. And as I go through, I'm just going to put them on my chair behind me so that I don't lose where I'm up to. Okay. Next is a 10-ounce Lowball. Okay. These, I've found the Lowballs are quite popular with males. I don't know if it's because it's the perfect size to put their Bundy and rum in, or their Jack Daniels or whatever, but I do find the 10 ounces with the slide lid. These are more popular for males than for females in my experience. So if you have a range that is predominantly for females, so like your 12-ounce wines and stemless wines and stuff like that, I definitely suggest, if you want to get into break into the boy, like the man market, the 10-ounce Lowballs and the can koozies that you can get with the lids that change from like your stubby holder to your coffee, they're best sellers for my males. Okay, so 10-ounce Lowball. Next up we have a 20-ounce skinny with a handle. I've never actually done a 20-ounce skinny with a handle, so maybe I should. Maybe this will be one of the ones that I do in my demonstration. See? So it is your standard skinny, right? We've seen them 100 times before on my channel. Your standard 20-ounce skinny, but this one has a handle, okay? It also comes with a slide lid. I think that's one of the ones that I will be using in this demonstration because I've not yet done one. I've done heaps of cups with handles, but it's usually the 14-ounce mugs. I've not yet done a skinny, so that is the 20-ounce skinny with a handle. She's got a good variety. I will give her that. I didn't know what I was getting. I just said surprise me. Oh, there we go. 14-ounce coffee mug. These are the ones that I've done that have handles. Okay. But yeah, I was expecting like the 20-ounce standard and the 20-ounce skinny, and so these are the ones that I've done with handles before. Okay, these are quite popular. I've found with people that like going camping or caravanning, especially the older folks, because they already have a lot of stainless steel camping gear, having a stainless steel camping mug that's customized just tickles them pink. So I have found that the 14-ounce coffee mugs, I mean, I have made them for others, but I do find that the majority of my client base that do purchase these ones are caravan and camping people. Okay. But yeah, good variety. I am impressed. Let's do this big one. What is this big one? What do you reckon before I flip it over? I reckon it's a 20-ounce skinny that doesn't have a handle. Oh, I was wrong! It's an 18-ounce hydro. I just admitted I was wrong. Oh my goodness. I'm never wrong. I'm often mistaken, but I'm never wrong. That is the 18-ounce hydro. It does have a flip top lid. What do you reckon 18 ounces is in mils? Let's ask Google. What's this one? A 15-ounce screw flip lid and straw. Ooh. Okay, so it is a 15-ounce skinny. It has a screw-on lid. But instead of the slide lid, it flips up. Okay, and I'm assuming that the straw is in that bundle that I pulled out at the beginning. That's quite cool. I like that idea. That's a good travel idea. Very curious. Oh, a Coozie cooler. Okay, so I have done the 14-ounce can koozies before that have the two lids. Okay, so you've got your stubby holder lid like this, but you also have a lid that screws on so that you can use it for coffee. I have never used, I've seen them around, but I have never done just the koozies. Okay, so that is that 14? It doesn't say. But it's basically just an insulated can holder. Okay, it's not meant to hold liquid. It's meant to hold the cans and the bottles that are holding the liquid. I have seen them around, but I have never used them. There's lots in this box that I have not experienced before. I'm excited. Okay, so we're down to the final one. What's the final one? Oh, a mason jar. Ta-da! Everybody goes nuts for these mason jars. for your straw. When these first came out, everybody was doing the cocktail cups with the toppers that have the ice and the fruit and everything else. So I could do that. I did do a topper live, but it was for the admin cup battle, so I haven't actually ever done a tutorial yet. So that's a possibility. The other possibility is this 15 ounce. So I'm definitely going to do the 20 ounce skinny. Okay, let's do the mason jar, because I'm doing the 20 ounce skinny with the handle. This is a 15 ounce skinny, and the only difference is that it's got a flip lid. So because I'm already doing the 20 ounce with the handle, let's do these two. Oh, please focus. These two for our demonstration, okay? So I'm going to think of something to do for this skinny with the handle. I will probably go down the route of doing a cocktail for this, just so I can give you a tutorial on how to do the toppers. But I think that's the direction that we're going to go for our demonstration, okay? So the 500ml mason jar and the 20 ounce skinny with the handle. But just to recap, 20 ounce skinny with a handle, 500ml mason jar. We had the 18 ounce hydro. Now we've got to play Tetris to make sure it all fits back in, don't we? The Sippy Cup was on top, wasn't it? The 15 ounce with the screw lid. The 14 ounce coffee mug that has the handle. The can cooler. The 12 ounce Lowball. And the sippy cup that has the two lids. So it starts off as a sippy cup, and then the second lid is what converts it into a normal tumbler with a slide lid, and of course all of our straws. But that is my unboxing of Blanks Are Us. So far so good. I am very impressed, and I will be back to do our demonstration on our mason jar and our 20 ounce skinny. Okay, so for the first part of this demonstration, I am using the 20 ounce skinny with the handle as promised. I did change my mind though. We're going in a different direction, which is why it's black. Okay, I'm not doing, originally I was going to do tacket, but I have actually had a couple of requests lately to do a tacket tutorial, so I'm going to do that as a standalone. And we're going to go a different way with this 20 ounce skinny. So, oh, and before I start, how do you like the new angle? Everything but my boom arm has now arrived, but everything else has arrived. So I've moved the computer out of the way. I've got elbow room. I've got all this space to work in now. I'm still getting used to having so much space to work in. The lighting came in. Look at my lighting. Right. So yeah, all I'm missing is my boom arm. So on one hand, you won't have to hear me complain about my setup anymore, but on the other hand, I am getting used. Like, I've spent the past 2 years with the camera on my left-hand side, so if I go to show you something and I go out of frame, you'll know that that's just habit. I've got to get used to showing you everything on my right-hand side now. But here we go, okay? So I did prep my 20 ounce skinny. I prefer to prep my cups. I sand them, wash them, dry them, spray them down with 100% isopropyl alcohol, and then give them a good wipe down, and then we're ready to go. I have spray painted this one with Australian Export in matte black, and we're going to do like a bit of an abstracty. I don't really have a plan for how it'll look. I just want to see how it'll look. But we're going to use mica powders and flakes and stuff. A little bit of a similar idea to what we did on the bottom of the damask, except I'm not using any acrylic paints or anything like that. I'm just using the mica powders. So I have mixed 20, my very last 20 mils of Amazing Clear Cast Plus. And yeah, 20 mils. So 10 mils of part A, 10 mils of part B, which is what is in, see, go to my left, this here. From there, I put a little bit, I reckon maybe 5, not even 5 mils, maybe 2.5 mils in this cup. Another little bit in this cup. This is what we're going to add our mica powders into. What is left over in this cup is going to go directly onto the cup. This little medicine cup will go directly onto our tumbler. Sorry, too many cups. Just to give it a little bit of base coat for it to move through when I hit it with a little bit of heat. And my very last container is so sparkly that it's not coming up on the light. There we go. This beautiful, beautiful chunky opal is Spitsbergen. I really hope that I'm saying that right, because it is from one of the new glitters from the Shimmer Shack. Still getting used to getting you guys in frame at a different angle. So it's Spitsbergen from the Shimmer Shack. Okay, and I've got it in a little medicine cup because I've run out of shakers. And I'm very, very messy when I try to pour out of bags. So I'm just going to use, see, to my left, to your right, Laura. I'm just going to, I want to sprinkle it. So I think that's going to be easier to control in my little cup. So, the first mica powder that we're using today is, please focus, Boss Babe from the Shimmer Shack as well. Okay, this is the Chrome Black to Blue that she has. I have never used this one yet. I've seen lots of people playing with it. I hadn't used mine yet. So that's what we're doing together today. And this is a Chameleon Chrome, which is a blue to black changing chameleon, but it does have that gorgeous chrome to it, the same as what her Outlaw series has. Okay, chrome chameleons, honestly, between you and me and the rest of YouTube, chrome chameleons are my favorite kind of pigment. I do like the original chameleons, like what we're about to use here, right? They're also called, what are the Americans? Interference micas, the Americans call them, right? But these were like the original chameleons for us Aussies, was the white to colour ones. These are flakes. This isn't a pigment. This is flakes. This is, to your right, Laura, this is Impatience from the Shimmer Shack. Now, this, like the Snapdragon that I used in Damask, this isn't yet released to the public, but it is definitely on its way. This was just samples that we got sent to try them out to see whether or not it could be a thing. And I really like these. They're not as chunky as the flakes, like what's in her Starlet collection. They are more of, remember, like, it's still a mica powder, but it's just a, please focus. Please focus. See how it's just chunkier? It's not a powder, right? It's that consistency. So I'm using, this one's Impatience, which looks white while I'm stirring it, but once I put it onto the black base, that's when that really pretty blue that's on the lid is going to show up. Okay, and then of course we've got our Spitsbergen to sprinkle over as well. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and put our clear resin straight onto that spray paint. Okay, I'm going to get it onto my tumbler first, and then we're going to come back at the end and do the handle. Okay, I always do my handles at the end once everything else is covered. What? Why am I slipping all over the place? What's going on? I always do my handles last, because then I don't forget where I'm up to. Okay, so if you're new, you've never done handles before or anything, right, that's my suggestion to you. Or if you just have a mind like a sieve like I do. Okay. Now, I don't want a super deep layer like you would with an ink swirl. Okay, I just want enough on there I'm just going to put some resin on this handle before it disappears again, and then I'll explain the handle on the way around. Okay, so I don't want it nice and thick like you would with an ink swirl. I just want something for our colours to sit on top of, but not necessarily sit in. Okay, so as the handle comes around, put some resin on your finger, put it all over the outside of the handle, and then with your fingers, just work it. Right, I'm doing the inside of the handle, I'm doing down the edges, right, and now we wait for it to come back around. Now, especially, I know I'm moving out of frame, I'm trying to keep you guys in frame, but this is slipping. I don't have an anti-slip bit for the side of this silicone mat yet, and I thought maybe by putting things of double-sided tape underneath the turner to stop it from slipping on the silicone might work, but that didn't help either. Okay, so again, I'm going around the sides. I'm making sure that there is epoxy all around the joins where the handle joins onto the tumbler. Wait for it to come back around again. Now, obviously, it's a lot easier when you're putting it onto a matte base or a spray painted base like this, because you can see it's going to be a little bit harder if you've glittered already, like if you spray painted and glittered, which is what we're going to be doing with the mason jar. It's a little bit harder to see where you've been and where you haven't been, which is why I said, especially if you're new to tumblers with handles, always do the whole tumbler first, right? Start where the handle is, put the epoxy the whole way around the tumbler, including the bottom, until you get back to the handle, and then once you know that the rest of the tumbler is done, you can go back around and work on your handle. Okay, so now that my entire tumbler is covered, the little bit that I have left, I'm just going to put onto here, just to use it up. And then we're going to go in with just a little bit of heat. Okay, so put that upside down now that I know that that's done. Get my heat gun and just hit it with a little bit of heat just to even it out, because I've got, if you can see in the camera, I've got some ripples, so just going to make it nice and smooth. Okay, let's see how that goes in the camera. Okay, so I'm going to put another glove on. And the first one that I'm going to go in with is our Boss Babe, which is our Chrome Chameleon. And I'll make sure I don't forget the bottom. I'm just going to go in. How pretty does that look? And just put it in random spots. I don't want it to completely cover. do want to start getting some texture. Just so it doesn't look like I've just kind of dumped it on there. Try and spread it out a bit more. Okay, so I have little accents of the blue. We can always go back in later. I do have a little bit left. Okay, so from there, I'm going to get my Impatience. And add some of that in where I can't see any of the Boss Babe. And honestly, you guys are getting a better look as it comes around in the light than what I can actually see in front of me. So I'm kind of using the camera to try and figure out where I can put some. See how that's coming up blue now though? I'm pretty sure interference micas is what the Americans call it. If you are watching this and you are from the United States of America, can you please confirm? Because I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. But let me know in the comments if I'm onto it. You know, like the white colours. It almost sort of kinda looks like the beginnings of the Milky Way. And I'll tell you what, if I manage to get a Milky Way out of this cup when I wasn't trying to, I'm going to be pissed. Because that'd just be my luck, wouldn't it? A happy accident where I wasn't really paying attention to how I was applying anything. Look how pretty that is. I'm so happy with that. It's subtle, but oh man, is it pretty. Oh, I can't wait to take this one outside. I'm just going to add a little bit more into here. And then I'm going to stop playing with it because I don't want to fuck it up. Nice. Ah, I'm so happy with that. I had the idea in my head, right, because Boss Babe, I've only had Boss Babe for like three or 4 days, right? It's one that I've been meaning to get for ages, but, you know, money, kids, bills, the whole lot. So when it came in, and then I started getting requests to do Tacket, because Anna went live last Friday in Aussie Tumbler Makers and was doing Tackets in Aussie Tumbler Makers. So the requests were already coming in, then she went live, and then she said, look, you've got to do Tacket in a video because people were asking me why I was doing this, that, and the other with it. And yep, okay, no worries. So then I decided I was going to put it on the 20-ounce skinny with the handle for this demo, and because I had to film that this week, that was my next project, and I really wanted to try it out, but I wasn't sure what I was going to put with it. So I'm quite happy with that so far. So now we're going to go in with our Spitzbergen. The tiniest little sprinkles. Not many, just enough. And a butt. Hang on. Your legs are in the way, so I'm just gonna flick it. Flick it onto the bottom. There you go, that's heaps. Oh, look at that. No, it definitely looks better with the light. Ah, loving it. Look at that. I'm going to have to think about what we're, what wording we're going to put on it now. Hey, I didn't think that far ahead. I just want to use Boss Babe. Oh, I'm so happy. If you can't tell, I'm so fucking chuffed with that. Look at that. So that is, this is my masterpiece. Thank you for coming. No, okay, so this is the first step to the 20 ounce skinny with handle. So I'm going to let this cure, obviously. We'll come back. I'll put some kind of SVG on it. And then we'll put our last coat of epoxy on it. And then we will get started on this mason jar that we're doing the cocktail topper with. Okay, so our 20 ounce skinny is all done and cured and ready for resin. And I'm just going to show you with my little torch on my phone. See the Boss Babe? It's hard to try and keep it in frame. You know what I'm going to do? There we go. Look at that. I'm so happy with how this came out, in case you haven't guessed that yet. Look. Okay, so under normal lighting, turn that off again, the Boss Babe is a little bit more subtle. But once you take it out into the sunshine, you're going to see all of that deep blue start coming up. Isn't that stunning? Oh, I love this so much. Okay, so I am going in with, I'll turn that light off now, White Opal from Tech Wrap. Now I'm left-handed, but for right-handed we want it on this side. Okay. Nope, that's not high enough. I need something, there we go, just something under the handle to keep it steady. There we go. Okay, so oh no, we're losing all of our bits and pieces. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to sit that smack bang between the top and the bottom of the handle. But I'm going to bring it around just a little bit more. Like so. Oh, look at that. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? So it says, the moon made me do it. Which, you know, if that's not the perfect... Especially, I'm filming this on a new moon. So, ta-da! So, that is our 20 ounce skinny with the handle from Blanks R Us Australia. Okay, so I'm going to go in now and put a final coat of resin on this beauty, and then she will be done. Okay, so the mason jar, 500ml mason jar. There's the lid. Okay, and as I explained in the intro and the unboxing, I think I'm gonna do a cocktail topper and show you how I do my toppers. Now, as you can see, you guys are on the opposite side, so now I need to get used to not aiming over here because you are now on the opposite side. So the mason jar, I have sanded it, washed it, it's all ready. It currently has wet spray paint on it. I use the Australian export. Oh, I've got to get used to being in frame now. Everything's backwards. I'm using the Australian export in the matte white, and while the spray paint is still wet, I'm going to go over it with my yellow glitter. So I am using Pina Colada from Glitter Your World because in my opinion it's just stunning. Okay, but I am running low. So I'm going to do as much as I can with what's in the container, and then we'll have to refill the container. But this is what's going to be our base. There's just one spot. I'll see if I can get it. Just here. See? Which has dried a little bit too quickly for me. So what I will do is when this is completely dry, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Mod Podge, put a tiny little bit of Mod Podge on that section and put glitter on it. And then once that is dry, we will be back to do the first coat of resin. But that is what we're starting off with our mason jar. Okay, so it's all dry. I fixed up the couple of spots that I needed to and let that dry as well. So we're going to go in with our first coat of resin. Okay, so just to change things up a little bit, surprise! I'm not using Amazing Clear Cast Plus today. I'm using EX74. We are back to the EX, guys. So I have mixed up 20 mils, which is 10 mils of part A, 10 mils of part B. This is pretty much all we're doing to the main section of this cup, because all of the design work, as you know, is in the topper. Okay, so this is a very basic, just a standard glitter design, but I do want to make sure that my glitter is all sealed in, it's not bumpy, I have a nice even coat on there before I start putting any vinyl on. Here is our cocktail jar. She has her 2 coats of resin on her now. She is nice and smooth. There were a couple of bits that I did have to sand down, but she's ready. Look how pretty. Look at that. I'm not a yellow person. My mum is. My mum's favourite colour is yellow. Me, not so much, which is funny because I love sunflowers. Love sunflowers, but yellow as a glitter, not my favourite. Right, but this Pina Colada, oh, it's so pretty. So we are going in with a water slide. I'm just using, I'll turn that off, our standard, when life gives you lemons, add vodka. Okay, which will sit on there like that. Right, standard cocktail jar. We've seen them done 100 times before, same deal. And then once that is on and dried, it'll get a nice big thick coat of resin to finish up, and then we're done with this and we can start on our topper. So this is just white, whoop, to the left again, we've got to go to the right, Laura. Standard white water slide paper. I have an inkjet printer, so after I printed this, I did spray it twice with Rust-Oleum, 2 times clear in the satin that I'm using at the moment, and it is the Dr. Decal and Mr. Hyde water slide paper because I will not use anything else now. And yeah, because it's a twist-on lid, usually I would say, like, if it was a 20-ounce skinny that had the lid screw on or something, No, that's not a screw on. Good, I probably should have checked that first. The 20 ounce that we did was not a screw in. But usually if the lid screws on, I tell people to put the lid on first. Before you put any designs or decals or anything on it, put the lid on first. Make sure that where like the slide opening is lines up with where you want to put your design. Obviously with a mason jar lid, because the straw goes in the middle, there is no right or wrong way to go about it. So I'm just going to go straight ahead and put our water slide on. Okay. So that, turn that off, and I'm going to turn my lighting down just a little bit. That is what we are left with. Isn't that cute? I love doing these cocktail glasses. So that is now what we're left with. I'm going to go in and put a final coat of resin on this. I'm just going to let this dry for a little while longer. Make sure that all the moisture has evaporated out of it. And then I'm going to go in and put my final coat of resin on that. And then I will be back to do the topper with you guys, and then we're done. Okay, so we are up to the topper, and yes, guess what came? I have my new setup. I was hoping that I would be able to show this off, and it came, so ta-da! This is my new setup. Let me know in the comments what you think. I have better lighting. I don't have overshadow anymore. I don't have the left hand in the way problem. You get a bird's eye view of everything now. I'm hoping that this will improve the quality of my content. So please let me know what you think. But ta-da! I can stop complaining now. I have my new setup and it's complete. So we are going to move on to the topper. First things first, I don't know what happened. I must have been pretty high when I ordered these, but please focus. Apparently they're the magnets that I ordered in. I will link the magnets that you are supposed to use. They're from AMF Magnetics in the description of the video. They're the magnets that I thought I bought, but then when I bought I had the link that I used last time I got their magnets bookmarked. I don't know if I've bookmarked the wrong link or if they've changed their website or what's going on, but I didn't actually double check the sizing when I bought it this time around. And that's what I was left with. If you can see the line, they are the world's smallest magnets. I did measure them and they are 1 by 1 millimeter. Like, that's how tiny we're talking. So when I ordered these, I did pay for express postage because I wanted them. I can't find, I'm sure I still had 2 somewhere, but I can't find them anywhere. So I ordered more in so that I could finish this demonstration for you guys. I paid maybe $2 for the magnets in total, and then I paid $17 for express shipping just because I wanted them in time, and then these arrived. So I have ordered the right ones to finish this so that I can sell it, but I'm not paying another $17 for express post. So we are going to use these tiny little bastards for the tutorial, for no other reason than to show you how I do it, and then when the proper sized ones arrive, I'll put them on. So the proper sized ones that you do want are twice the height, so 2 millimeters high and 8 millimeters wide. Okay, so you end up having a circle about that size, and you put 1, 2, 3 in like a triangle pattern on the inner part of the mason lid. Okay, and then with the acrylic disc, sorry, you attach them to the acrylic disc so that when you put them on here, the magnets sit between the acrylic disc and the lid, and your acrylic topper doesn't come off. Okay, but it does mean that you can take the topper off when you want to go and wash your cup. So they are removable, and that is how I prefer to do mine. I know that a lot of people hot glue straight onto the lid. I don't like that idea for my own personal hygienic logical reasoning. So I do it with the acrylic disc. Okay. Moving on, the first thing that we're going to do is our topper. So I'm going to move our lid and our magnets out of the way. To do your topper, you will need some crushed ice, artificial ice pieces. I got mine from Lush Glitter and Blanks. You'll also need fruit slices. I'm using lemons for this, obviously, because we're doing a lemon cup. Your hot glue gun and your acrylic disc. Now I actually have a friend locally that cuts mine for me. From memory, I think it's 7 centimeters in diameter with a 1 centimeter circle bang in the middle for the straw to sit in. But I actually reached out to Fee from Custom Craft Blanks and asked her if she could please make this a thing, so that I had somewhere to link back to. And she actually said that her and her husband have been planning on releasing a range of acrylic cuts to make removable toppers for a while. So she's going to put them up on the website so that you guys can get them, because I didn't think it was very fair if I was going to do this and be like, haha, I have a friend that cuts this and she's not going to cut it for you, right? I wanted to make sure that I could source the acrylic discs for you. Okay, so I will link them down in the description as well, and a very big thank you to them for agreeing to jump on board so that you guys had access to the acrylic. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to put my lemon down. I need a new one of these because I'm running low. So I'm going to put my hot glue onto the side of my lemon, and I'm going to stick it and hold. Okay, you don't want it too far out the side, but you also want it not so close that you can't put ice and still have the straw go through. Okay, that is probably a little bit too close, so I'm going to move it out just a smidge more. Okay, from there it's just a case of putting some hot glue down and then putting some ice down. So I'm going to build up around my hole for my straw first, and then we can build outways from there. Like so. Okay, so you want to go, hang on, I'm going to turn this one off. There we go. So you want to go as close to, got to learn to keep it in frame, as close to the hole as possible without actually covering the hole, but you don't want to leave too much gap between, like too much acrylic showing either. Okay, so that is what I'm left with. So now that I know that, oh, my computer's going nuts today. Now that I know that I'm not going to accidentally cover my straw hole with ice as I'm building it up, I'm going to go back where my lemon is. and build up around my lemon. Okay, so I'm going to go through now and speed this next part up. I'm just going to go through and finish putting the first layer of ice. It's all over my nail and it's annoying me. The first layer of ice all over the acrylic, and then we'll be back to start building it up. Okay, so this is what we now have. I've put ice all over that bottom layer, and our lemon slice is nice and secure. So now I'm just going to go in to random spots and add an extra ice cube. Okay, so I'm starting to build some height. Okay. So now I just keep going back through and adding dimension. That's just once you've got your base on, like your first layer on, and your acrylic disc is covered, from there you can build it however you like. I don't like to build mine too tall, but you know, I do like to put more than 1 or 2 layers on. So I'll just I'll probably do one more up from this. There's still a couple of spots that could do with one on our second layer. No, you want to go in there. Okay. But always making sure that you're not covering that hole. Okay. So the more I build up, it's towards, like, away from the hole and towards the outer skirts. Okay. But okay. So our metal lid and our tiny little magnets. Okay. So I have tweezers in the hopes that I can get the magnet to stick to the tweezers. Nope. Theory was like the tweezers would work like magnetic pliers. There we go. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, the magnets that you're supposed to use, you would put in a 1, 2, 3 pattern. We're going to do this in a 6. And because they're so narrow, so the magnets that you would use, you could put here. See how it dips in? Right, you could put them in this middle bit. And they would be high enough to still sit the acrylic on. These are too narrow. Right, there is a gap. So let's see how we go. So I'm going to try and put them around this rim. Okay. So I'm going to go in with, if you can see,
I've put all 6 on there. I don't hold a lot of hope for them because of how heavy this is. But let's give it a crack, hey? So once I've positioned my magnets where I want them on my lid, I go in with my liquid fusion. And I'm going to put... Oh, I didn't even think. The tip is metallic. Okay. Plan B. Where is my... Here it is. Plan B. Liquid fusion. I have... Yeah. I'm going to go in with my non-metallic silicone brush. It's because they're so tiny. It wouldn't matter if they weren't so damn tiny. I can't get over how small these are. Like if Barbie's watch needed a new battery, these would probably still be too small. Okay, so we want to liquid fusion our magnets to our acrylic disc is basically what we're going for here. Okay. All jokes and frustrations aside, we want to liquid fusion them to our acrylic. Okay, so now that they're on, I'm going to sit my topper on there. Make sure that they are, this one's poking out a little bit, all in position. I knew as soon as I did that, that was a dumb move. I knew as soon as I did that, that was a dumb move. Okay. I was having such a good run with content for you guys too. That's okay. Alright. So the 3 magnets that I've put down already, I'm going to put on the opposite side to these guys. Push them down. Why won't you just do what you're told? Fine. You know what we're going to do instead? Do it the other way around. Okay, we got them on there. Let's see if I can get you in frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to move. That just ricocheted off another... Oh, these are so small. This is ridiculous. They're so small. just going to stop playing with them. I'm just going to leave them be now. Okay, you can say, oh, and I'm on camera. Yeah, I don't have to move it. So, once you have positioned your magnets with the liquid fusion, leave them to dry overnight. I'm going to put this here and away from the lid so we don't fall into the same problems again with them flying off. Okay, I'm going to leave it sit overnight. I might even... No. And there we go. We'll set it on a couple of tumbler lids that I have laying around so that it doesn't slide off. We'll leave that dry overnight and then it will be... Whoa, where are you going? It will be finished. We got there in the end. Don't buy 1mm magnets because it is... Go and grab your ruler or your tape measure and go and have a look at exactly how small 1mm is, and then you might have some sympathy for the devil, yeah? But yeah, I'm going to let that dry overnight and then we will be back tomorrow with the outro, showing off exactly what we have made when it's all together. It's been resined, it has all the vinyl on it, the top is done, the whole lot. I'm going to show you exactly what we ended up with our tumblers from Blanks R Us. Okay, so here I am with my outro and my final thoughts. My cups are now finished and I'm loving this one. This one turned out so good. So I'm going to hold it up to the ring light, if I can get my angle right, so that you can see the Boss Babe. Okay, so this glitzy part here that we can see is the Impatience, but then when you turn it, this deep blue that comes up through here, that's the Boss Babe. Okay, so when you're looking at it from an angle or with the light off, that Boss Babe is really subtle, right? But as soon as you put it up under lighting or in the sunlight, that Boss Babe is going to go bing. And we went with that to the Moon Made Me Do It design. So now that is all finished. So that is my 20 ounce with the handle, the 20 ounce skinny with the handle. Okay, as expected, the little magnets on the bottom of this do not hold the weight of the topper. Okay, it stays on, but it's not secure. So, as I mentioned when we actually filmed doing the topper, I am going to leave the link to the correct magnets in the description so that you guys can do exactly the same process but with the right magnets. But this is what our... I'm going to turn this light off because that's glaring. There we go. This is our cocktail cup with the removable topper. Okay, so had the magnets been strong enough to hold it, that magnetizes to the lid and then it doesn't move around and jingle jangle. Okay, so that is, maybe if I hold it this way I can get it all in frame. That is what we're left with for our cocktail cup with the ice and lemon topper. Okay, so let's see if I can get them both in frame. Oh yeah, there we go. Ta-da! So that is what I used for the demonstration. If you remember with the unboxing in the beginning, I also got a bottle can, like a bottle koozie, an insulated stubby holder. The sippy cup that has the two lids that change it from the sippy cup to a normal drinking cup. The hydro bottle. These two. What else was in there? Oh, the little Lowball was in there. I think that's it. If it's not, I'm sorry. But final thoughts. I had not used this blank supplier before, as anybody can tell you, new blank suppliers always make people a little bit nervous because A lot of times you do get lucky and they are really high quality, but then once in a blue moon, same with all suppliers, you get a supplier that tries to take shortcuts or goes with the cheaper option that they can find with a cheaper wholesaler, and you end up with problems. You end up with I've bought cups in the past where the double wall seal has been broken, so the insulation never worked. I've bought cups where the slide lids are junky and snap off really easy, or they leak. I've bought cups before that has the seams in them, and the seams, I find from personal experience, cause me nothing but problems. So blanks, especially with tumbler suppliers, you always, until they start building up a reputation, it's always a little bit of a gamble. But I want to say I'm impressed. I definitely recommend checking out Blanks R Us Australia and putting an order in with them. Their cups are high quality. As you can see, there's no seam. If you can see, if I can keep it in frame, there is no seam in their cups, right? They're a continuous cup. I've actually already tested this cup. Once the resin was cured, I tested it out with hot water and cold water. Both hold. So there's no leaks or anything in the double wall, so that it doesn't maintain the heat or the cold of the drinks. The slide lid is really well made. It can be a little bit stiff with the slide lids to begin with, but I did find the more that I moved it back and forward, the looser it got. Not so loose that it's going to start leaking, but it did get a little bit easier and a little bit more movement in it. But it is the thicker ones that aren't going to snap off. Having said that, though, I did get underneath it to flick it out to see if you could clean it, and they do come off. Okay. So the slide lids are really well made. They don't leak. Obviously, if you turn your cup upside down, it's going to leak. But I kind of put it on the cup, filled the cup up, and tried to mimic going over a bumpy road, and it didn't spill up and around into this part here or anything like that. So I was very, very impressed with that as well. The mason jars, right, are a really good size, and I think they are perfect for the cocktail cups, but obviously you're not limited to the cocktail cups. They all come with the straw. I'm going to take this topper off, hang on. They all come with the straw, and the straw has the guard on the bottom so that it doesn't come out all the way. So you do have to put the straw in from the bottom of the lid, because it does have this little catch guard on it to stop the straw coming out of the cup completely once it's in. And as you can see, there's no seams in her cups. Okay. So, all in all, she's got good quality stock. She has a wide variety of stock. Her pricing is very fair and pretty much on par with all of the other suppliers that I usually buy off. And I do really recommend her. She does have some stuff in that other suppliers don't have. And she also, I saw when looking at her website again last night, it's not in with all of the rest of the tumblers. It's a category by itself, that she actually sells boxes of 12 in the 20-ounce skinnies for a discounted rate if you buy the bulk lot of 12, which it works out to be half a carton. Like if you were to order the cups from the wholesaler overseas, they usually come in cartons of 24 or 50. So buying 12 is basically buying half a carton, but you don't have to pay the exuberant shipping fees that you would have getting them in from an overseas supplier. So if you, at this stage, she only has those 20 ounces in the bulk, but I'm sure as her business grows, I can see that becoming a little bit more popular with other styles as well, simply because sometimes we need, like especially coming up to Christmas, having that option to buy in bulk within Australia is going to really come in handy for a lot of us that do high volumes over the holiday season, or just high volumes in general. If you're somebody like Anna has like 50 to 60 cups that she's working on at any one time. Her volume is huge, right? So having the opportunity to save a little bit of money compared to buying 12 separately, I think it's an absolutely fantastic idea, and I think she's going to do really well with that idea, because there are a lot of us. I mean, just in the past month, I've seen a fair few posts of people asking where they can buy their cups in bulk, and I don't think they mean bulk as in 50 to 100. I think they mean bulk of like 10, 20, right? So having that half a carton option, I think is an absolutely brilliant idea, and my hat goes off to her. But in conclusion, Blanks R Us Australia, I have linked in the description. I've put their website, their Facebook, right, all their socials. They've got a Facebook group as well that you need to go and check out, because that's where she lets you know what stock's coming in and whatever else. But I definitely recommend that you give them a look and put an order in with them. I do have a discount code for you guys to use, which when I edit I will put up on the screen along the bottom about now. It is Panda 10 with a capital P, and there is also a space between Panda and the number 10. If you use that code to place an order on her website, she's going to give you 10% off. So a very, very big thank you to her for partnering with me and giving us a discount code, because that's definitely not essential. I just wanted to check her out, give my honest opinion on it, and give you guys a little bit of a demo just to help get her name out and help her give a little bit of a launch, because I love working with the smaller companies. So that is what we've made as our demo. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you would like to see more like this where I do the unboxing and the demonstrations, I do have a couple of new businesses lined up in June and early July as well. If you are a small... Oh, it's just not gonna stay. There we go. If you are a small Australian business that supplies craft supplies, it doesn't have to be resin related. I like to have my finger in all the pies and do all the crafts. But if you're a small Australian business and you are interested in me doing a demonstration or a review of some products that you have, please reach out to me. My socials are always linked in the description of the video as well. I never ask for anything for free. I always pay my way, and that is why you can guarantee that you'll always get an honest opinion from me. I don't get paid to do these videos. I don't get paid to be an influencer. I don't get any discounts. The discounts codes that I get given are for you guys to use. I don't use the discount codes. They're to pass on to you guys so that you guys get the savings. So if you would like to work with me, please let me know, because I do have like the rest of the year from July is pretty much available if you'd like to work with me. Otherwise, thank you once again for tuning in. It has been lovely hanging out with you. I think the next video that's going up by the time I'm filming this next week will be a tutorial on heat transfer vinyl. I've actually been working on that for the past few weeks now. That's going to go into how to use normal plain HTV, how to use printed HTV, and also how to print your own, and the best products to do to print your own, and then we're going to go through and apply it all as well. So get excited for that, because that's a little bit different to cups. Otherwise, enjoy. I'm filming this on a Friday, but it's not going live until Monday, so I guess I will say I hope you had a good weekend, and have an excellent week, and I will see you guys next time.